What's happening, everybody? This is John Denton. Welcome to a special short edition of State of Play. On this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about Microsoft cancelling Scalebound and where I think the Xbox is going in 2017 and beyond. Okay, so if you haven't heard the news by now, Microsoft has actually cancelled the game Scalebound from Platinum Games, which had been in development for 4 years. And it's cancelled it quite close to release. This is after showing the game off multiple times at different E3s, having long extended demos, and obviously there's been a bit of an outcry from the gaming public. Platinum has a pedigree in creating some of the best action games of all time. We're talking Bayonetta, Metal Gear Revengeance, Vanquish, and Scalebound was one of the key Microsoft Xbox exclusives going into 2017 as they constantly battle Sony for supremacy and dominance. And like everything, there's always two sides to every story. It's always disappointing to see a game, especially a game from a developer like Platinum, get cancelled, especially this close into development. And there are plenty, hundreds of thousands, I would have thought, of people that would have been dying to play that game. But on the flip side, you have to understand that if the game was in truly dire straits, if the development was really troubled, if the game just wasn't shaping up to what Microsoft was hoping, then you have to look at it their point of view that they've got to can it. Now, personally, as a gamer, as somebody who's consumer facing, if you want to say it like that, in terms of what I do professionally as well, then obviously I'm disappointed. I want to play any new Platinum game, especially something, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had my concerns about how Scalebound was going to turn out, but I always want to try anything coming out of that studio. But I can understand it from the other side as well. What's really interesting is kind of what this means for the Xbox going forward. Now, we've talked on previous episodes about what's happening in the industry, that we're on this precipice of this real change, and I think this is another indictment of that. What I mean by that is that Scalebound is, despite being a 4-player co-op game and offering an open world, is a game that kind of has its pillars in gaming of 2012, 2013. Massive open worlds, lots of stuff to do. These things don't really matter as much going forward as they did back then, and that's disappointing to say, and as you get older, the world moves so much faster. So you don't really think of trends being different in 3 years ago than they are now, but clearly if you look at the 2017 lineup for Microsoft, we're probably looking at a new Halo, we're looking at a game like Sea of Thieves, they're still talking about Crackdown, there'll probably be a new Forza, and they're really seemingly doubling down on the games as service thing, and I think we'll see Halo turning itself into a kind of service, a multiplayer service. They tried to do it to a point with Halo 5. I think the next Halo will definitely be moving in that direction. A game like Sea of Thieves has huge legs, potentially sea legs, and also has the potential to be streamed, and that's the other thing. Games that have a lot of emergent possibilities in-game, we're going to be seeing tons more of them, which is great, personally, I think, because that stuff's always fantastic, but it streams so well, and streaming is obviously such a big deal. I was listening to an interview with Phil Spencer with Giant Bomb 6 months ago at E3, and it was really interesting, because he talked about how Project Scorpio, the new Xbox that's going to be coming in 2017 as well. And the inspiration was seeing games like Forza 6 having the 4K version on PC, and him thinking, well, how do we bring that to the home console user? And I think Project Scorpio is probably just going to end up being the Steam box without Steam, the Windows Store box, essentially, for the home. That we've kind of see that thing coming. Obviously, it's going to be backwards compatible with Xbox One and Xbox One S. And what was really interesting, and this basically means nothing, okay? So I'm just going to preface what I'm about to say with that. This is just my perception, and it could mean nothing. During the first 5 minutes of this interview with Giant Bomb, Phil Spencer is talking about the Xbox One S, which had also just been announced at the time, and the confusing messaging around that and the Xbox One Scorpio, Xbox Scorpio, whatever it's going to be called. During those first 5 minutes, he stumbled over his words so many times. He kept getting things wrong. He kept saying the wrong word, like a parent who's got loads of kids and always says the wrong kid. Fine, it's tired, it's E3, it's busy, it's confusing. But then when he gets to talk about the Scorpio for the last 6, 7, 8 minutes of the interview, not a word out of place. Just constant, on the ball, messaging, information, passion. Like I said, I mean, that doesn't mean much, but that to me means that this could be what Phil Spencer's really behind. Obviously, he came in and had to try and right the ship with the Xbox One after Don Matrick and his team basically had a disaster with the pre-launch and the launch. And Phil Spencer's done great work in that respect. The backwards compatibility stuff is superb. And if that means that Scalebound, a game like Scalebound, no longer fits into the plans of what they see going forward in 2017, then unfortunately that just has to be the way it is. It sucks. You don't want to see a game get cancelled, a game of that scope, a game from that studio cancelled like that. You absolutely don't. I think perhaps it was a mistake in that tweet back to a podcast where he said it's better for gamers. Real iffy choice of words. I understand what he's trying to say, but you're never really going to get over by saying it's better for you because we're not going to let you have the thing you want. I mean, come on. But this is, to me, where Microsoft's going. They're creating the home Steam box, the Windows box. I know it's not going to have Steam on it. They're looking at games as services for exclusives. They're probably slightly less interested in the indie space. I mean, there's a really good indie game coming out that's just on Xbox and PC later this week that I'm going to be reviewing on this channel, called Rise and Shine. I'm not going to go into details because it's embargoed, but you will have heard nothing on that game from Microsoft. And while it's not the type of game that's going to be a system seller, it's something that they should be talking about. And they failed to do similar things with stuff like Ori and the Blind Forest and other things in the past. So yeah, games as services, Xbox One, home PC, console, this is where it's going. The Steam box didn't really happen. I think this is what it's going to be. 4K is there as well. 6 teraflops, what does that mean? Alright, question of the day. Will you buy a Project Scorpio, an Xbox Scorpio, a fucking Phil Spencer Scorpio, whatever the hell it's going to be called? Are you interested in buying it? Where are you going to be buying machines and games in 2017, 2018 and beyond? I want to know. Leave an answer in the comments. Okay, this is just a quick one. Let me know if you like the idea of these shorter episodes. Yes, I'm in my car in the back streets of Bournemouth. I want to be doing more content and more content quickly, as well as the longer episodes, and there's going to be some interesting stuff coming up on this show going forward involving other people, guests, all that sort of stuff. So, but let me know if you like the idea of these shorter episodes as well. And you know, this channel is just fluid, it's evolving, I'm learning. That's the thing, I am learning all the time. But if you like it and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because growth equals access equals content equals more growth, and that's the loop that's going to allow this channel to grow and get better stuff. Please do drop a like, share, all that great stuff. This has been John Denton. This has been John Denton's Car, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace!